4, 4, 2, dudes.
Hello, start, man.
Oh yeah.
You.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of 442 Dudes. Not bad, actually, finally remember. Yeah, first episode you forgot. And of course, I am Ben and he is
John.
Together we are the dudes behind 442. And today we got a lot of things to talk about. I think very exciting because the season is already opening. But don't forget, we'll be starting with our first segment called
90 Minutes Off.
So don't forget to follow us because brought to you by CCB TV. Follow us, Instagram, subscribe as well on YouTube. See you for the next one. And welcome back to this part we call 90 Minutes Of. And in 90 Minutes Of, we do a lot of analysis, a lot of critical thinking of what goes on in the matches.
Yes.
And very importantly, just recently, it is the Community Shield. So congratulations to Arsenal. That could be the only trophy you might walk away with. But I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything about that. But congratulations to you, still Arsenal. Managed to outclass Man City in that. And in today's segment, or rather, continuing from today's episode onwards, we are going to be introducing certain new things.
Yep.
And one of them having to be the board. We call it the board. And so later on, you'll see the board where John has a very huge excitement towards it of showing the board. And so, ladies and gentlemen, really, we're going to deep dive now. But first, John, what are your thoughts on the Community Shield? Excited lah, I tell you. Excited.
Yes, okay. So, as Ben already mentioned, we want to change things a little bit.
We do.
That's why we are upgrading some of our analysis. Right, so this time around, we have a new toy. And this toy is, Ben has rightly called it
the board.
Alright, so if you look on the screen right now, this is our new toy. Right, so what I'm just going to do is basically share with you guys what we had kind of analyzed the game, where we found that there was one tactic that Arteta used, which kind of outwitted Pep in this sense, right? And it was quite effective.
Okay.
Right, so in the first half, this is pretty much what happened in the first half, right? So these are the starting formations for both teams. Red represents Arsenal, blue represents City. Obviously, right? So City started with a 4-2-3-1, and Arsenal started with a 4-3-3 formation, right? So I think City was expected to have more of the ball, right?
Possession.
More possession and all. I think Arteta recognizes it, and that's the reason why he came up with this tactic. I believe he came up with this game plan where they will really press and block off all the spaces of City's options, right? So over here on this right we have Saka. So whenever City gets the ball, this is what happens. Saka will just block off the left back. I think it's Akanji. This is Martinelli. Martinelli will block off Walker. Havertz will come to the center over here. This is Odegaard. Odegaard will also come up over here. So Havertz and Odegaard will take care of the center backs of City. This leaves you with Rice over here, and Partey. Haaland obviously will go all the way up. Alvarez will move up to join him into like a 4-4-2 transition. So what happens next is you are basically left with a 4v2 position, formation, or rather a situation. And you may be asking, so what happens to these two? Well, Arsenal's fullbacks also come to counter. They actually push themselves all the way up. So you can see it's kind of like an inverted 4-4-2 where it becomes a 2-4-4 of sorts. But in this case, where City is concerned, whenever Ederson for that matter, passes the ball to DS or even Stones, their options are basically all blocked. Right? Arsenal's defense was very tight, very, very organized, and Rodri and Kovacic are basically the two most important people in the City's gameplay, where they need to spread the ball into the right places, in the right spaces, in order for City to actually exploit and then counter Arsenal. Granted, in this half, City had their chances, but this is basically what happened in the first half, where Arsenal tactically outwitted City via this box formation, right, as you see over here. So this was basically what happened in the first half, and I think a lot of people recognize that. I think I saw online as well, some people were mentioning about how Arteta actually managed to counter City. But Pep being Pep, I think he's a master tactician, so he knew how to he recognized that Arteta is doing something, maybe because he was his protege, right? So what City did was that they actually got Bernardo Silva to drop in deeper into the center as well, and Grealish also started to move inwards. So what they did was they basically overcrowded the whole midfield and thus giving the Arsenal players more things to think about.
Yeah.
Should I track him? Should I block him? What do I do? So that kind of opened up a lot of space. Not just that, Rodri actually dropped down to centre back as well. So by dropping back down to centre back, he actually has more space to think of his options. And then City, he buys City time to actually make those runs down the flanks. So I think that was something that City did to overcome it. And he went on to the second half as well, where there was a situation. I mean, if you watch the highlights, you would have seen.
Yeah.
When Foden got the ball, he managed to turn Partey. So the moment he turned Partey, he was in acres of space, right? And Rice was blocking off on the left. Suddenly had to come inwards to quickly track Foden. And at that moment, 3 City players just bombed forward, leaving the space on Arsenal's left on the 1v3 position. And that's basically how they got the goal.
Very exposed there.
Yeah, they were very exposed.
Also, I do need to correct you. I don't think it's Edison. I think it's Ortega.
No, it's Ederson.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Really? It was... Oh, sorry.
Ortega. That's what I'm saying. It's Ortega.
Ortega, yes.
Yeah, it's not Edison,
my
it's Ortega.
gosh. I was thinking about yesterday's game.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. It's not yesterday's game. Okay. Anyway, just a correction on that part. Yeah, it's Ortega. But yeah, I think I agree with what you say. I think both managers recognize each other's intelligence.
Yes.
One wants to close up the space. The other recognizes that space is being closed, therefore wanting to find another way to open up that space.
Yep.
I think really, it's a tactical brilliance from both sides. It was indeed a draw at the end before they came up with the penalties. And so, yes.
So this is where I want to ask you.
Yes, please.
Right. So we all know that usually,
Yeah.
or at least that's what I've noticed, maybe you have as well, the teams that normally score the last minute equalizer in a cup game
Okay.
normally goes on to win the game, whether it's in extra time or via penalties. This is what I've noticed.
I never noticed
so,
that.
So I'm just want to ask you, what do you think is the reason behind all this?
I mean, I never really noticed this, but if you were to ask me, I think it's we started with not having to lead or to draw. We were conceding.
Yep.
Then now that we drew and we have a chance to fight, we just go all out.
So psychologically,
I think it would have been that way. I think I never really thought about it in what you've mentioned, but I think now that you've thrown that question to me, if I was the team inside the player, I would have been thinking.
If you were the team inside the player.
What am I saying? If I were to play in the team, oh goodness, sounds so like an OG party already. But as I was saying, I think it's all about we started with nothing. Now that we had something, then might as well.
Sorry, I just cannot.
He's very excited.
No, I think you're right. You're right. I think it's the psychological effect where you were losing the whole game. And suddenly you have a chance and just grab onto it, right? So I think to make things worse for City, Arsenal's goal was actually a deflection.
Yeah, exactly.
From a corner.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of, I think it was reflected a kanji, is it?
I think so. Trossard was the one.
Yeah,
Trossard just gave it a shot.
But you got to give it to Trossard. So
I think Trossard is going to be
we got to give it to him.
Key player for Arsenal this season.
I think definitely. Yeah. Last season he definitely was. This season he's still going to be.
Now, what's your take also on the ends where the penalties are taken? Because for this game, the penalty was taken at Arsenal's end. So the Arsenal fans were behind the goalpost. So do you think that also could have affected the City players?
I think in all sense of all penalties, I think it always matters. Because, if you have your support from behind, it's going to matter a lot. But sometimes it could work the other way around because now you could be the opposing team and going, oh, okay, I got thousands behind there. I'm gonna prove them wrong.
No, but you're facing your
But I think sometimes there's this rebellious streak in them that they wants to go. You know what? I'm not afraid of all of you. I'm gonna score that goal and just cheer in front of you. So that could be also.
Okay.
Because you think about it, just want to add on, the goalkeeper could now have the pressure. Wow, so many people behind me, all my fans. How am I going to score? So,
true.
Yeah, I'm just going to think it works for different players. Yeah.
Okay.
Which comes down to one question.
Yes.
Since you asked me one, I'm going to ask you one as well.
Okay, come.
Because I know my answer. Do you think the Community Shield should be considered a important trophy in the modern game? It is a trophy, but do you think it should be seen as a important trophy that can be considered part of the treble, double, that sort of thing?
Okay, so interesting that you mentioned that. So here is my take. Okay. All right. So if we go all the way back to the reasons, right, back to the start, why the community shield, or it used to be called the charity shield, is meant to be a curtain raiser.
Okay.
The initial objective was for this season opener to raise funds to be donated to charity.
Yeah.
Right, and then even I don't know which year they rename it to the Community Shield, right? So, but I believe the objective and the purpose remains, which is meant to be a fundraiser, right, for the community. So, if you ask me whether it should be considered a trophy, from the perspective of the purpose, I would say no. Because to me, it's no different from any preseason friendly, in my opinion. Right. So I don't think you should consider that as a trophy.
Okay.
In fact, I think this game should be scrapped altogether.
Really?
Why? Because for the purpose of fundraising, right?
Okay.
I know this year the Premier League started this summer series. I think if you follow the Premier League, they did this summer series. They actually had a mini table with 6 Premier League teams in the US and all.
They did.
I think if you use this summer series as the fundraiser, you can actually earn a lot more. Then more money can be raised to donate to the charity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? And you don't just involve 2 teams, you're involving 6 teams. So wouldn't that be a better option for the Premier League? So you just strip off this Community Shield, you run your summer series to raise the funds instead. And then you also essentially stop all the IBs or the Internet Brigade from say, hey, why do you count a charity shield as a trophy? You basically take away all this arguments and stuff. So yeah, and with this, by stripping this game off, you're allowing the teams more rest. Because right now, I think one of the biggest arguments, or rather some of the biggest things that the teams are trying to inform the authorities is that, or rather FIFA, is that we are playing too many games. We are playing new games.
Okay.
So any game that can be stripped off, I think will benefit the players in the long run. So if you ask me, my answer is no. Should not be considered a trophy, and it should be stripped.
Okay.
That's my answer. Yeah.
Wow. Coming from Liverpool, who has won it more than 10 times, I believe. But let's go back to the real fact. I think it should be considered. I only think it should be considered because it's the precursor to everything of all seasons and whatnot. But very importantly, I don't think it's just from my view. Just look at the managers. Every time a goal is scored, you saw Pep's reaction. And then when Arteta, they had the equalizer, he was running around like a mad dog. And when they won it, I think the reaction says it all. So I think this one is more of through whatever preseason they played, whatever friendlies they played, they figured out this team should be the one. Likewise for City and Arsenal as well. So I think this is more of they took it as the first game. I think they took this as the first game. Of course, City on the other hand tried Ortega, not Edison. But other than that, whatever plans they had, they tried that plan. Whether it worked or not, they knew it. But I think you could see even when they lost, City was also, Pep was also feeling a bit down. The rest of the City squad was also feeling a bit down. Granted, this year they won a lot of trophies, but yeah, I think this felt very important to the players. I believe to the players, it felt very, very important, and I think because of that, the importance of it, and even when Liverpool won Man City, I don't know, it was last year or something like that, you could see the importance to everyone. So I think it should be considered as a very important trophy.
Okay, interesting. So there you have it. Ben is for the. It should be considered a trophy. Yeah. I'm not. So tell us what you think. Write down in the comments what you think. Whether it should be scrapped, whether it should continue, whether it should be considered a trophy.
Oh yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know indeed.
Yes.
And that was 90 minutes of. We will be back with what we call the
Sixth Sense.
And we hope you like the board. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to this segment, what we call Sixth Sense. Now, in Sixth Sense, we're going to give you a lot of our predictions, but I think this one we're going to focus very much so on our home teams, because it is Chelsea against Liverpool. Sorry, I just had to do it. Okay. Now we have our thoughts. But interestingly enough, before they will be coming over to Stamford Bridge to fight. We've already been fighting, over what's his name? Casido.
No, it's not just one player. It's two players. Wow.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be quite a lead up to that. And I have to say though, this is a very interesting fact as well. Not being biased here, it's really a very interesting fact.
Okay.
And this one, I think it favors you. Now, Poch has not a very good record against Liverpool. He has only won 3 of his 16 meetings against Liverpool. So that's what I just want to say. But am I worried? No, not at all.
Why? So why are you not worried?
No, I'm not
there
worried.
must be a reason why you're not worried.
No, there are a lot of reasons. I think look at the friendlies we've been doing. Look at how Poch is doing the whole entire Chelsea team. The way we are remaking it to the Poch team. You know, we all the names also easily pronounced lah. No need what Island, Hoyland, Island. No, it's all easily. Nununku. Think about it.
What's Mununku?
Nununku.
Nkunku.
Never mind lah. Nunkunku. I can't even pronounce it. Yeah, that's why. Got so excited.
By the way, Nkunku is out to December, right?
Yeah, I know.
Just in case you didn't
I know,
right?
I know. I saw the meme. Did you see the meme? Okay, anyway.
No.
Yeah, there was a meme going
Can't be bothered with Chelsea news.
Nicholas
Anyway.
Jackson, Alex Diassi. I mean, we have a new goalkeeper. Never mind. Robert Sanchez. Hello. And then, this one I cannot pronounce, but it's Hugo Chukwu. Okay, Hugo Chukwu.
Can I see?
I'm trying to pronounce his name. Hugo Chukwu. Don't laugh, I'm trying my best here. Okay, so yeah, right. So going back to it, I think really we have what it takes. I'm not going to say we are going to straight away land first, but I think given what Poch has been doing, the mentality he's been putting in the team, interviews as well, yeah, we stand a good chance. And both teams coming in with no Champions League, sadly, but yeah, I think that's why both teams got fire. I'm not going to even doubt Liverpool. I think Liverpool also wants to fight for that. They want to show what it is, but Klopp.
So what's your prediction for the game?
Interesting enough, I put a draw. 2-2.
Yeah, despite all the fact that you say,
no,
you're coming here to lose and everything, you still agree that it's a draw.
I have to give Liverpool some credit. Liverpool, yeah, it's a bit hard to pronounce, but yeah, I have to give you all some credit, So 2-2. In my biased opinion, 2-0. But in a neutral way, 2-2.
Okay.
Now let's hear from you.
Yeah, so let's touch a little bit more about the pre-game fight that's going on between Arsenal and Arsenal.
No, Arsenal, your head lah.
Chelsea. Sorry, just talk about
Don't
Arsenal,
even take us in consideration. Okay.
Between Chelsea, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
Between Chelsea and Liverpool. Yes.
Liverpool.
For those of you who are living under a rock and you don't know what's happening, Fabrizio
Lord.
Romano has said that he would rather, if you can get 3 or 4 minutes of sleep, he'll be very, very happy.
Exactly.
And why is that? Is because right now, currently, there is still no news at this time of recording on where Caicedo is going to end up with, which team is going to play for. Yeah. Whether he's going to play for Chelsea or Liverpool. Now, apparently, he has already agreed personal terms with Liverpool. Brighton and Liverpool has also agreed on the fee. Yeah. But out of nowhere, there was a statement from Caicedo's camp that he only wants Chelsea. And from a footballing perspective, it makes zero sense. Let me give you a reason why.
Okay, let's go.
If he goes to Liverpool, he is a definite starter. Right.
Okay.
Liverpool are in a Europa League.
Okay.
Right. That's the European Championships.
Well, they're very proud of it, but okay.
Well, we're much better than Chelsea. In Chelsea, there are so many teams. There are so many teams.
Yeah, exactly.
I got influenced by you. Yeah. There are so many players in Chelsea. He's not guaranteed a starting position, which I believe he wants to. Yeah. And Chelsea are nowhere in Europe. You laugh at us being a Europa League. You are nowhere. You are smelling all the League Cups. You can win the League Cup for all I care.
To us, we are okay because we recognize the fact we are not in Europe.
Exactly. So from a footballing perspective.
So from a footballing perspective, I'm going to let you know.
It makes no sense for Caicedo to go there.
Now let's go to the player's perspective. Now in the player's perspective, it makes no sense for the sense at all. Let me tell you why. Jurgen Klopp, to him, you can say all you want, but Jurgen Klopp's pulling power is no more. No more. Now, if he would have wanted, he would have just joined Liverpool for all he wanted. But you know what? He said to himself, it's not about the Europa League. I don't want the Europa League. It's not about fighting. It's about fighting for the chance and that position. And Poch has shown him why. So, therefore...
What has Poch shown? Nothing.
God, a plan. That big plan. So, therefore, we're not fighting for Europa.
A plan to fail?
So Liverpool is going to fight for Europa. And I congratulate you for winning the Europa League.
Thank you very much.
Then we'll see you.
I'll congratulate you for winning the League Cup.
Hey, at least got League Cup. But now we will fight for the Champions League. But I think going back to it, I'm telling you what's the funny thing. I agree with you in some sense. If this guy got to do with money, that's quite sad.
It is. I think it is what it is.
So you think lah?
Obviously. So there were articles that came out where the reason why he's put out the statement, he was because he was influenced by his agent, right? His agent. So there are rumors going on right now. We can't confirm it. I mean, this is what some of the articles are saying. The reason why his agent, named Manuel Sierra, wants Caicedo to go to Chelsea is because they stand to earn a 20% cut of
Yeah.
the overall transfer fee.
Yeah.
And we are talking not just like 50 million
Yeah,
or
yeah,
so.
yeah,
We are
yeah.
talking about 110 million. 20% of
three digits and a
110 million.
Mm.
You can basically retire, after this.
Yeah,
So I can see why the agent wants to go there, but
Just come.
we are football fans first
Yeah.
and foremost, right? So we want to talk about players taking charge of their own transfers. Do
for
not
sure.
let the agents. So I will just tell Saicedo, please go and sack your agent.
And then come to Chelsea.
And then make the right decision, footballing reasons, and move to Merseyside.
That
Right.
went wrong side.
But it doesn't matter. In any case, I think if he goes to Chelsea, that's it. His footballing career is ruined, just like Paul
it
Duncan.
won't be, don't worry.
Right, because he have a shit agent advising him. So yeah, that's that. But in any case, coming back to the game itself,
Yeah.
moving away from Saicedo, from Lavia, and
What would be your
poor
prediction?
Tyler Adams, I'm predicting Liverpool to win 2-1.
Okay.
For a
Fair
very
enough.
simple
Fair
reason,
enough,
because
yeah.
Liverpool are more seasoned.
Okay.
They know each other better. Chelsea, as you mentioned, they want to bring
Yeah,
in
yeah,
bring
yeah,
them
yeah.
all,
It's a-
all
it's a
your
young
plan.
squad.
It's basically a plan to fail, right? Because the young players and all.
Yeah,
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 they
yeah,
can
yeah.
run. They can run.
Yeah,
do all
yeah,
the
yeah,
stuff. They've been preseason. Wow,
Yeah.
never lose any game.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you are playing against an experienced side against Liverpool, right? Granted, you are at home.
Yep.
But Liverpool is so experienced. They know what to
Yep.
do. And the additions has been fantastic. McAllister and Soboslai has been fantastic in preseason. So I don't see Chelsea winning this game at all.
No problem.
There's a possibility,
Yeah.
a very slight chance
Yeah,
that there'll
yeah,
be a
yeah.
draw. But I definitely see Liverpool winning this game. I'm going to give Chelsea credit. So that's why I'm predicting Liverpool to win by 1 goal.
Okay.
Yes.
It'll be a draw or win.
So yeah, that's our take on the predictions. So we do have our other predictions on screen. You can take
You'll
a
be
look.
seeing them on screen.
Yes. So Ben has his own predictions.
Yeah.
I have my own predictions. But the more important thing we want to share with you guys is that we do not encourage gambling.
Don't know.
All right. So this our predictions are really just for the purpose and entertainment of
Entertainment.
our podcast.
Correct.
All right. Yes.
And we do enjoy, just watching our predictions come true. Yeah. 'cause
Like
we-
the game against Chelsea and Liverpool.
Okay, that one no lah.
2-1.
Not so. So yeah, those are our 6 cents, and of course, if you have your own thoughts as well, be it for another club, could be Newcastle or whatnot, let us know. We want to hear from you, and if you're happy with your squad, let us know also. Did your squad have a good signing enough to be winning matches along the way?
Yeah. Or you're very sad because you're a Spurs fan. Oh well. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so that wraps up our 6 Cents segment. We'll see you for the next, titled What's What? Who's Who? And now it's time for the segment called What's What with
Who's Who?
Yeah. So in this segment, we'll share with you some of the interesting happenings that's taking place all over in the footballing world. And I believe Ben is very excited for the first thing that you want to share.
I am.
So, go ahead, man. I don't know why you're so excited about that.
I'm very
but yes,
excited because
let's share with us.
I think very recently, not too long ago, we had this thing called Game for Ukraine held in Stamford Bridge. It is a game dedicated to, of course, the cause of Ukraine. A lot of controversy, but I think the cause of it is very important as well, and a lot of, may I say, interesting factors to put up the game with, including who is managing the sides. But I think before this recording, we were just having a little chat with Jonathan. It felt like it was Arsenal versus Chelsea kind of thing, yeah?
It was Chelsea legends versus
Yeah.
Arsenal legends with a sprinkling of AC Milan. Yes.
So yeah, we're going to go more into that. But it was Team Shevchenko, yeah? Up against Team, alamak, all the go, Zichenko. Am I doing it right?
No,
Oh,
never mind.
Never mind. Okay, so basically, Chelsea versus Arsenal. And then the other one, a bit AC Milan. Yeah, actually more AC Milan than Chelsea. But in any case, now, for the other side, very interestingly, it was not a man. It was a lady. Emma Hayes, managing Team Shevchenko.
Shevchenko.
And then the other one is Arsenal, the Arsenal winger. Yeah.
So Zinchenko's team was playing the yellow jersey and they were managed by Arsene Wenger.
Correct. Blue and yellow because Ukraine. Yeah. And I think really, there were a lot of important people that played, but very interestingly, and I was telling John as well, these players look like they were rolling back the years. The way they were playing, it doesn't matter, what position they were, how they were running. I think everything, it seemed like as if...
Especially one
especially
player.
one guy, I have to say also. Really,
Clarence Seedorf.
Clarence Seedorf.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
The goal. Holy cow, man.
I think he can still play the game.
Yeah, no. Okay, so there was a very interesting comment section that I saw.
Yep.
And there was a comment by a guy lah. I believe it's a guy. He said,
Yes.
Seedorf, himself played better than most of the Spurs squad, and they should get him. When I saw that, I was like, wow, that's quite sad.
Especially now when
Harry Kane, no more. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, that just shows, I mean, beyond the retirement age of some of the players, these players still have what it takes, and it's so. How would I put it? It's quite a shame to hear comments saying they are better than some of the current players.
You know how do I sum this up?
Sum it up, please.
Form is temporary, class is permanent.
I see it.
So you have players like Seedorf and
Yeah.
Perez and wow. Yeah, so that was a game for Ukraine. Team Shevchenko versus Team Zinchenko, managed by Emma Hayes and Arsene Wenger, respectively. No, I think I just want to add one thing. I think it's brilliant that Emma Hayes was given the chance and opportunity to manage the team because I think, as we mentioned in the previous podcast, I think it's time, really high time for we recognize the female game.
Yeah.
Right, so it's really important, and I think it's significant. And we want to celebrate this milestone where Emma Hayes was given the opportunity to manage the team, led by Shevchenko.
I know. I really think that's great. And really, I think when all these come together, whether they're coming for Ukraine and whether they're showing just a different side of what football can be like, I think that is what we call a beautiful football experience.
Yes.
Doesn't matter which club you support, because
Correct.
these are players that are from different clubs and they came together at Stamford Bridge. Again, this is not about Chelsea now. This is just about football coming together, and I really think that's so beautiful.
Yes. Right, so let's move on to something that's going to be taking place this season, something new, and these are the new Premier League rules. There are a total of 4 of them, but let's just go through some.
Yes, let's just go.
Right, so I think you'll be seeing on the screen very shortly. The first one is unsporting behavior. So Ben, what's your take on unsporting behavior?
Well, I mean, in terms of unsporting behavior, this is where the referee has to make that right judgment call. Because right spotting, that whole spotting behavior, it depends on the referee, in my opinion. Because what a referee deems to be unsporting behavior may not be what another referee is. So I think there's going to be a lot of scrutiny, I believe. We're going to see how the different referees play out. And on top of that, we're also going to see if the VAR side is going to pull out something as well.
Yes.
So will the VAR view of it up against the referee's perspective, will they clash? I'm hoping still the main referee on the field, the official referee on the field, is still going to have that say and not be convinced by VAR. So to me, again, in terms of spotting behavior, it's going to be a lot of different scrutiny. But also, I think we're going to watch how the referee's going to do it. Because again, officiating is going to be very stressful. Because is this really unsporting? And then to the VAR, it might be. What you think it is, to the VAR might be not, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a lot of different views. So I'm watching out for it.
Yeah. So that was unsporting behavior. Yeah, Ben, I think Ben very nicely summed it up already. The next one is about goalkeeping sportsmanship. I think everybody knows why this whole rule came up, right? Because of our dear Emmy Martinez. In fact, this should be called the Emmy Martinez rule, don't you think
That's what
so?
I want to say too.
As a tribute to Emmy Martinez. So now they are not allowed to psychologically disturb the players, and all. Which I think is bullshit lah. In fact, right, for the Premier League, the keepers are not allowed to touch the goalpost, the crossbar, or the net, to delay the kick and all. But I mean, come on,
no, it's just part of it.
Please, this is all part and parcel of the game. I mean, if you're so mentally weak, then you shouldn't be playing the game in the first place, isn't it?
I mean, this is sports entertainment to us. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's not A to B.
Me.
I don't think it's just A to B.
Yeah. And speaking of time wasting, I think now players who time waste intentionally will be given a caution. Yeah, and because they're going to try to stamp out all this time wasting and all,
and that goes even to the goalkeeper.
Correct,
as well.
and I think one of the consequence of time wasting would be that there will be added time for the matches. So we will be expecting to see more and more games that will be similar to the World Cup games back in Qatar, where we see 100 minutes, 110, so on and so forth. So intentional time wasting, including goal celebrations, right? Including goal celebrations will be taken into account and we will see longer games. But interestingly, there was a statistic to say that the average playing time, it means when the ball was in play last season, was 54 minutes and 49 seconds.
Wow.
55 minutes lah.
Okay lah.
So I think they just want to increase those timing and cut down all this time wasting. So is it going to be a good thing? I'm not too sure. I think from a fan's perspective, probably good because we're getting our money's worth, right?
Yeah,
we are paying money for not 90 minutes, but 120 minutes. I don't know. Anyway. So there's the time wasting thing, right? So the next one, the new rule is on offsides. Now, if you look on the screen right now, I think it's quite self-explanatory. But there's another rule about offsides which I want to touch on, which is in the past, whenever a player is in the offside position, but if the ball touches another opponent before reaching him, he is considered onside. It does not matter. But this time round, no. Even if he's in the offside position from the very beginning, regardless of whether the ball touched an opponent or not, he is considered offside. I'm not sure whether this is going to be a good thing or not, but in my opinion, I think it's not a good thing. It just kind of takes the fun out of the whole game. But it is what it is. These are some of the new rules that the Premier League has, right? Yeah, so that was the offside decisions, and I think we covered all four, right? Yeah. There's one more thing that I just want to mention. The two things actually in terms of behavior. We talked about players' behavior. We talked about players' behavior. But managers' behavior is also in the spotlight right now. I think this is just pertaining to the Premier League, I believe, where there will be an automatic yellow card dished out if there is more than one coach in the technical area. In the little white automatic, line. Yes, in the white line. And for bosses and who like to go rant at the referees, run to them like a certain Pep Guardiola, they will be cautioned as well. And if they were sent off, if they were to be sent off, they are no longer allowed to just go up to the stands. They have to physically disappear out of sight. Well, I think that's quite harsh. But anyway. These are just some of the new things that's going to be implemented this season. Right, so let us hear your thoughts on these new rules, whether you think it's going to do you agree? To ruin the game further, because I think it does. But nonetheless, this is what we're going to expect this season. It is what it is.
I'm just going to sum it up, you will ruin. Because, if time is short, then we won't be able to see our players celebrate. Yeah. So tell us what you think.
Yes.
We want to hear.
Right, so... guys, this is the first episode of the new season. So we're really looking forward to more matches. Let us know what you think regards to the fight between Chelsea and Liverpool, the new rules. So once again, this is John.
And this is Ben. We are the 442
Dudes. Not forgetting our new friend,
The Board.
See you next week.